It's been years since I've walked in a forest and seen for real stars. My Ontario has been about cities. But what about wilderness and what about real quiet? I love cities and I always have, but lately I've been needing to escape. I heard about Manitoulin Island, and even though there are lots of Northerners who will tell me it's not the real North, it got me started on this discovery of my home province, and more importantly, it got me north of Bloor. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our midnight canoe trip yesterday and our fishing trip today due to bad weather. But instead, I got to experience Manitoulin Island from above.
That is a small plane.
It is a small plane.
I can't believe it. It's so small. And you built it from a kit?
From a kit. Yeah, this is from a kit.
Feels like something a humble superhero would have. I thought it would be so like, I thought it would be so rough and windy and rattly. It was like smooth as butter. It's like riding your bike like down the perfect hill where you're just like kind of let the brakes go. Then that tiny plane that looks like the perfect toy. It's gorgeous, but it's quite quiet. So you just get to look at this beautiful landscape, which is just like land and water, which is gorgeous. So yeah, we saw Lake Huron. We saw some passage of Lake Huron. And so to understand just how big that lake is too is amazing. And it gives you a sense of how small it is here, you know? The only scary part is he's like, do you want to steer a bit? I was like, oh yeah, sure. He told me, you hold it really just with 2 fingers. He's like, move it just forward 1/8 of an inch. And so you do, and then the plane goes. But I found that part really scary, knowing that I was in control of the plane with such a tiny movement. I'm like, what if I jammed it with my knee by accident? He was like, you can keep going. I was like, I'm done. I didn't want to be turning left and right and up and down. Something about my body being able to control that made me kind of nauseous. This is a string of seconds that's like true contentment, where you're like, oh, all the things, they're like working out. Like, it's zen. It's not like frenetic, excited energy. Now I have it because I'm like, I just had super quiet contentment. One thing that was really tough about being on the island, because we were really tourists, is the food. We didn't know where to go to find much fresh food. Should we make a cake?
Yeah, let's make it.
Which one?
Okay. Oh, a white cake?
What's exciting about this is that we're doing things that we would never do, really outside of our comfort zone. I loved this entrepreneurial spirit that we saw here. We met a lot of small business owners that were really excited about what it is that they were doing, and I was really excited to hear from them about what they were doing. As tourists coming here and we're working on this project, it's hard to get in healthy food, and we were having a hard time finding healthier options. So this feels like a really welcome gift to us.
I hear that quite a lot.
Yeah.
I would like to hear it more often even. We really go from scratch. My herbs, everything I use is cooked gently in a sun cooker, and then I enjoy when people just discover flavor and discover what it's like to taste the real thing. And then there is this thing called terroir, where you are very conscious of eating the local food that's produced where you live, and I think that is really important, that we support our local farmers. And it doesn't take a big space to create an abundance of food.
We met Matthew as the fish and chip stand in Providence Bay.
Welcome to my restaurant, Lake Huron Fish and Chips.
We just had the most amazing meal. A little bit sleepy after it,
sure.
But very well worth it. It was delicious.
Yeah, we just actually received a certificate of excellence from TripAdvisor and are rated the #1 restaurant on the island. So
#1 restaurant, not just fish and chips.
#1 restaurant, yeah.
Hey now. He had this like urban entrepreneurial spirit, and he lived in both worlds, you know.
And actually, I just bought one of the original home hardware buildings in Canada, and so the concept there in the new building will be to create an artist's market, and and I'm going to try to bring a lot of the artists and friends that I have in the city to bring them up here and have them recognized by the locals. But also for you coming up to the island, you would want to purchase something made by someone on the island. So trying to expand, trying to build up the island, build up my community. As much as city life is great, I find that my soul kind of settles down here.
I feel really lucky that we ate here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. It was so good to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm discovering maybe what I'm really enjoying is meeting entrepreneurs on the island of Manitoulin. Last night we went to Gordon's Park and I met Rita. Rita, I am so excited to be here with you at Gordon's Park that you and your husband created. It's magnificent. All of these animals, I just learned so much in the astronomy class. Her husband is a retired taxidermist. What is that like? What does he smell like when he comes home? Like, I have so many questions.
All of the wood that we used to build our park was harvested with horse and sleigh in the wintertime, manually by my husband. He's a very hard worker, and we've been a fantastic team together.
And her passion and the way she had to basically lobby to get this dark sky area protected from light. Of all the things we could fight for, you know, justice and whales and lions, and here's this woman, Rita, with her silvery hair, who's saying like, no, I got this. I'm gonna protect the dark, which I think is so wonderful. You know, we couldn't see too many stars because the moon was super, super bright, which I loved, but I learned this cool trick. This means 20 degrees in the night sky. The last star on the Big Dipper, if you put your thumb at it when you look up in the sky, and then you rotate your hand, that's 20 degrees, and then the North Star is just a tiny little hop over. And that's how like pirates would know where to go. We are in our final moments on Manitoulin Island, and I'm kind of sad to go. I'm like, I want to go to that. This is the first leg of this sort of quest that I wanted to be on, to discover more of Ontario and to try and challenge myself to stay in my home province and have a sense of adventure, have a sense of wilderness, of like being apart from city. But maybe I just need to go further north. You know, maybe I need to go more remote. If what I really want is to be around less people and less hubbub, I might need to go further north. I'd like to think I'm ready for a serious survival trip. I would like a shocking cold plunge into wilderness. I feel ready to hunt, build an impressive fire with wet wood. I'm ready to fight off bears with my sphere-like fists and forage for plant edibles with the help of a weathered guidebook I'd keep in my back pocket. Plus, I did used to date a serious wilderness man who taught me how to tan a deer hide. So if we needed leather on our journey, I could help. Stay tuned for my next adventure going further north of Bloor.